Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mediak. I'm sorry for starting without giving you guys a warning. So we are going to continue doing Creature Commandos. This is part 2. Last week, we talked about the first 4. Usually, I have more of an intro, but I felt like this is more important to jump right into it than any other podcast because it's essentially a continuation of last week's episode. So up there, as usual, is Skylar to our right, Chandler to the left, and I'm Zach down here in the middle. We were actually talking about the show before the podcast. What was that, Sky?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Unless we're confused, apparently.
Yeah, we had a letter from a fan that was very confused about what happened in the final little bit of this. So I guess spoiler warning: if you haven't watched all 7 episodes of Creature Commandos, we're going to go like full balls to the wall, talk about everything, spoilers, the entire whole shebang. So we're going to start. What was that, Sky?
Whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to start off with Chandler's confusion point, which was Can you explain it a little bit, actually?
Yeah, so I was really confused as to what like that doctor was. I think I just, going from watching episode 4 to watching episode 5, there's a real-time skip for me. I didn't watch it directly after the other, so I had forgotten the doctor kind of verifying what Cersei's visions were. So you told me about who that doctor was, did bring some things back to memory, but having Clayface impersonate her was just confusing. I didn't understand how that played a role, but what you were saying is because Rick killed Clayface, it made it seem that Clayface was impersonating her from the get-go.
Yeah.
Saying that whenever Clay or the doctor was verifying the vision, it was Clayface. So those visions were fake, meaning we should have killed the princess.
That's what they wanted. That's what the princess wanted Amanda to think. But in reality, the real professor was there, did actually verify the information, and then went home, got killed, then was switched out. He's processing it.
Okay, so what's weird about that is they were banking on them finding out it was Clayface. They're banking on finding out that the doctor was fake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they okay? No, I'm trying to remember.
I think I like the train of thought you're going down, and I actually think it's super valid because it's something I thought too. Keep going.
So where does like Clayface make it very obvious? Okay, so just what that.
He's not her. You wouldn't know.
I think I know where your brain is trying to put it, but I do think that Cersei probably, not Cersei, the princess probably knew that Clayface would give up the identity eventually. So it's not necessarily that she was aware that they'd go looking for that doctor, even though probably that's what she assumed they would, but also that this idiot would probably give up his position. And then Amanda Waller would be like, if he's Clayface, then that probably wasn't the best course of action anyway. So unless I'm coming up with a workaround for possibly a plot hole, then I feel like that's what it was. I don't know.
Intriguing.
And
still, I need to rewatch it now that I know.
Yeah. I think it's worth it because watching it a second time around really was good because it made the sex scene make way more sense.
Yeah.
On the second viewing, I was like, okay. Yeah. I guarantee there were a lot of people, not a lot, we didn't get a whole lot of views in the last episode, but anyone who made it past the first 30 minutes, and anytime I said something about the sex scenes, they probably were really mad at me because I said I watched the entire show already. Because they're like, why do you have a problem with that? You still don't need to show it, personally. That's just what I'm thinking. I have one of the things that's on my what we watching is a good example of that, but we'll get to that later on in the podcast. If you're curious to hear more of my opinions on that subject, wait to the end. I don't know where I was going to go with that. Chandler, was there anything else you were confused on? What else did you bring up? There was something about the timeline, right?
No, about Clayface. But I just want to, still want to go back to Clayface.
Okay.
I'm bringing it back there, but just to make it sound, there's 2 twists. the princess being bad, which kind of is a twist and isn't. Like, you can kind of pick up on it, but also, like, from the beginning, she was supposed to be protecting, but actually she needed to go.
Yeah.
I guess. So that's one twist. And the second twist is, like, Clayface impersonating the Doctor, but
that's a part of the first twist.
It's a double twist to me, though, because it's whatever. Okay, I need more time to think about that outside. I'm going to rewatch the show, but here's what I wanted to talk about.
I think it's fast. I think that... Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Clayface gone?
No, because we have a movie. Spoiler for you too. So we have only a handful of confirmed movie scripts coming in the DCU. This was one of them. There's a bunch of series that they're planning on working, but they don't have any good scripts yet. Right now we have Superman, Supergirl, Clayface. That's it.
Sure.
Those are the only movies we have coming up the pipeline.
It could be an origin.
Could be an origin, but if it's an origin, then what's the point? You know, like of making the movie, because we watched him die in a TV show that probably not a whole lot of people that are watching the movie actually watched. You know, what's the point of making a movie then? So,
like, how are they gonna explain?
He probably was just knocked out, and they scooped it all up. Like, Clayface in the comics doesn't like die; he just is a mess.
When he wakes up,
yeah.
Just the one message. You'd think that they would have, like, Waller would have done something. She just really left the
Yeah, she just, like, scooped his face. Like, no, that wasn't even her. That was John. He poked it with his cane.
But that's it. Then they left.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah.
What if they did capture him?
Maybe they did. You know, maybe they did, and that's where the movie starts off or something.
It wasn't shown, so it could be anything.
Yeah. But I feel like that the fact that we're getting a Clayface movie gives me faith that movie is going to be fucking amazing, because, like, James Gunn said that he's turning down scripts for, like, just popular superheroes. So why would he just greenlight a Clayface script unless it's, like, fire, you know?
And he's a pure villain, not, like, anti-hero, right?
Yeah, there is, like, a pretty creative interpretations of Clayface, but, like, the Clayface you're thinking of is, like, pure villain. He's kind of like not even like a main villain. He's just like the guy that attacks Batman at the beginning of movies to show that Batman can kick ass before the real villain shows up. Usually. Yeah. That's usually how he is. He's like the lizard. Well, actually, the lizard was a main villain in Spider-Man. He's like the Rhino, I guess. He's like the Rhino. He's just like
the villain for love.
The Rhino was a main villain in the Spider-Man movie. What the fuck am I getting at here? Because he was the main villain of Kraven. What the hell? I keep doing bad examples. Or maybe they should just stop making movies on terrible villains.
My opinion.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. What'd you say, Shan?
Said, in my opinion, that movie doesn't exist, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, did you guys see? Okay, we barely talked about Creature Commandos, and we'll get onto it in a second. But did you see that clip from Kraven where they forgot to edit in the sound of him making the rhinoceros sound? It's just the actor going. It's so terrible. It's one of my favorite things that went around the internet. I'm just like, I can't believe how could you do that?
Wasn't it, like, postponed so many times and stuff?
Yeah, dude. That's hilarious. I'll send it to you guys if I find it, but we can get back on the Creature Commandos.
I do want to see that.
I will. I'll show it to you. While we're on it, last week we said that Dr. Phosphorus was Skylar's favorite character, and in one of these episodes, we see a little bit more into him. Skylar, what did you think of that? Is that your favorite episode so far?
Yeah, it was. I actually wrote it down. It was my favorite episode because it was the backstory to my favorite character, and I think it just made him better.
Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not his family dying. That wasn't awesome. I like the dancing.
Awesome. But I like the dancing scene where he takes over. What was the guy's name? It was who's the guy he killed that trapped him?
Dude, he's like a famous Batman villain too. Like, people who care are going to get upset if we don't remember.
Yeah. But I thought, like, the scene of him saying, like, everything that is his is mine now.
Yeah.
And him, like, because it was alternating between that and him going back to kill him, right?
Yeah.
And the part where it flashes and you can see him at the window was so sick. And then
just I can make him and he shoved his hand through the glass. I love that moment.
How he was, like, killing people in that episode was so insane. He was actually just, like, grabbing their face and just, like, pulling through it.
I like that. Sorry, go ahead.
So cool. It was just so cool.
It really was. In Batman, that's the first time we saw Batman in the DCU. Who is he? I wonder who. I'm excited.
That's Rob Bat.
I hope it's not, man. I really hope it's not. Rob Bat's too real to be in. Like, imagine. I know you haven't seen the Superman trailer, but Chandler, imagine Rob Bat existing in the same world as that bubbly.
Right. Pattern.
Yeah, Robert. Fuck, Skyler, I can't do it now.
Robert
Pattinson, Batman. That's his nickname. Is Rob Bat.
Oh, I could not say that at all.
You got it now. That you have to. That's his name. You have to. That's his name legally. Rob Bat in the Batmobile.
I got Bat.
Yeah, I really hope that's not Rob Bat. That would make me really sad. I would really just appreciate that to just stay as its own thing, so we don't ruin it. And I haven't watched the Penguin yet. But my brother said me and my brother have talked about this, like whether or not we want Robert Pattinson in the DCU. And he said that if you've watched Penguin, then there's no possible way that you could imagine that Penguin existing in the same world as any of these characters in Creature Commandos or Superman, because it's not even close to the same tone in the slightest. And I was like, that's fair. I can believe that.
The Penguin is different.
I haven't seen Penguin, but I've heard it's dark as fuck.
I've not seen it either, but I have heard the same things as Zach.
Yeah. So I'll watch it one of these days. I'm really excited for it. But I think that's going to be something that we do maybe towards the summertime. Sorry, we can get to that a little bit later. We could talk about Creature Commandos now, because that's the point of the episode. Chandler, did anything change for you? Is your favorite episode still episode 3 from last week?
That's GI? Yeah. I'm so glad for the ending of the last episode. I love GI Robot. The third will be my favorite. 6, that might be a sneaky second for me.
Yeah, 6 is definitely a number 2 for me.
That or the second episode, one with the bride.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good one too.
That might be like.
I lied to you guys last week. I said there was 2 episodes without backstories, but I was wrong. Every episode has a backstory except for the first one.
Go ahead. Frankenstein kind of.
In episode 5 was his backstory, was where he spent the time with the lady.
Okay, yeah. I don't know much.
What'd you say, Scott?
These last episodes were all bangers.
I thought so too. Yeah,
all of them were really good.
I thought that the series progressively got better as it went, except for number 4. I thought number 4 was a little bit of a slow one, but you needed that to build hype for the next couple episodes, because 5, 6, and 7 were really fantastic. And I loved Nina's, actually. I don't think Nina's going to be dead forever, because there's no way they just make this person have the worst fucking life possible. Like, she just they could, I guess, but I just don't.
I know. How do they bring her back?
Lazarus pit. I don't know. They fucking do something. They.
It's like that's so lame. I feel like that's where you'll lose.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Hey. Oh fuck. My next sentence was gonna be dark as hell. I was gonna say I hope she's dead.
Yeah, I would have been terrible.
I don't like when they bring characters back from the dead. Yeah, can you say that right into the recording? Oh no, what happened for the podcast? No, it's like that episode of I Think You Should Leave, where it's like, I need you to say that I'm gonna kill the president.
Well, I was thinking of Santa Claus 3.
Oh, right. I guess. Can you say that again? Who said that? Rudolph's mama. Sorry. Flashback to one of our worst episodes. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
It was a unanimous episode.
Yeah, it was terrible. One of the worst movies ever. What were we talking about, Nina? I hope they don't bring her back. But like on my second watch, I was thinking, like, with the context that she's gonna die at the end of this episode, holy shit, dude, her life sucks. Like, there's not a single moment of her life that's like actually good. They went out of their way to give her the most depressing backstory humanly possible.
They really
Every
did.
character is very depressing.
Totally.
Hers is except for GI Robot. I feel like his is kind of a
Back at the end.
it's just
He's
very
there.
lonely character.
Yeah.
But he's there. And he had Nina. Nina made him feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nina's
I mean,
not
like,
dead, so
I mean, it's backstory. Like,
And
here
he
is
was
it. So much.
Yeah,
The fact feeling just more like it was just lonely
yeah.
for a big portion of it.
And hey, I'm not saying there wasn't depression in the other backstories. I'm just saying she went from having lungs on the outside of her body to being like called a frog to watching her dad get shot in front of her to then being in prison,
GI Robot die.
seeing GI Robot die, then fucking dying.
And then being convinced that she's the only one that could kill this person.
Yeah, and getting hyped up and thinking this was gonna be dope as fuck, and then getting stabbed 70
Dr.
times.
Plot Tourist was like convincing enough that
Yeah, she's great. He was fantastic the entire time. There's one other scene, I think it was at the end of episode 6, that I want to talk about because of how much I fucking loved it. Because you see a lot of these nowadays, but I feel like not a lot of them are done very well. But the hero walk at the end while they're walking towards the castle, while all 4 of them are like lining up together, fucking gold. That was cinema of them walking with the song in the background. It was so cool. Really good.
Before you got there was one more that I thought from that same episode,
Okay.
6, that I thought was really funny. And it was when it was in the, do you want to call it the prostitute house or?
Okay, yeah, you could say brothel. You could say brothel.
Okay, brothel. And so they're obviously the bride and Nina, and they're hiding, and the 2 people walk in. No, not that.
Okay.
And what it was the 2, I don't know. Are they technically knights for the princess?
Oh yeah, they're nice. Yeah.
And the one is smiling. What are you smiling at?
Yeah.
I thought that was a little funny.
I know what you're
Just the
talking
knight was smiling at all of them after.
Yeah. He was coming back. You know that.
The metahuman's fight that happened later on was also really cool.
Dude,
That was also really cool.
when she crushed his heart in front of his eyes, I was like, that's fucking hard. Like, that's crazy. Imagine that happening. Yeah, that's
lady's
sick.
powerful.
She is, yeah.
She probably leading up into the show, she was probably my most underrated. I was
Nina's definitely the most.
expecting the least with the breath.
Really, I still say it was.
I didn't think she had any powers. I mean, Nina can like swim underwater and breathe. Like
Yeah, but I figured at the very least the bride is going to be
Smart.
as strong as Frankenstein. I thought they were going to be on like the same level. I'm like,
I guess I didn't consider that. I might consider some strength, but still, she's
yeah,
Well,
she's
she's
sick.
dead.
She's sick as fuck. She's probably one of my favorite characters. Phosphorus is definitely up there though.
I also think that she did the justice of killing the princess after, like, that whole like
Yes.
end breakdown of doing
Fire.
that. And she's like, I'm not killing you because of orders. I'm not killing you because you're gonna end the world. I'm not killing you because of that. I'm killing you because you killed Nina.
Yeah,
That was it.
fire,
Straight between the eyes, and then
fire.
the shot looks so sick.
It does, yeah. And I think that yeah, I want to talk about that for a moment because I thought about that a couple times when watching the show. I think the cinematography in the show was amazing, which is something that's like kind of weird to say because it's animated, but that's like super underrated whenever it comes to animated shows like this, and it should be looked at like in higher regard because this show can be really beautiful at times. It really can be, and a lot of like the cross shots, they do it a lot in the show to show like the past and the present, but they're done really well and not in a way that makes you be like, all right, I'm okay with this. Like, can we stop doing this? It's done really well. It's like a very film show, I think.
yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because, do you think James Gunn's like, I want it to be like this, now animated exactly like that?
Maybe, because I think that's more of like the director and the cinematographer's job, not the writer. I bet he does have like a lot of hand in what happens in the show because he's the writer, but I do think that since it does have its own designated director, they probably are the ones that did that, you know?
I assume this was James Gunn.
No, he didn't direct it, no.
It's just like a lot of it was James Gunn-esque.
Yeah, it's because of the writing that comes through on that. Even though a lot of the visuals do feel like that, I guarantee he probably just picked someone that fit his style, you know?
That's crazy. See, I don't know how you could do that. I feel like if I were in James Gunn's position, and as selfish as this probably sounds, I'd be like a one-man show. Like I'd have to be what I want. Like you'd write it how you want it to be, and then I have to see it shot and just animated the way I want it.
I feel the same way.
You to take this recipe and you make it. I think that's crazy. I don't know. Like you
I feel the same way. Like I guarantee he probably had like hands in it. Like he probably was like if the director wanted the bride to do something a little differently than how he imagined it in the writing, he probably was like, well, I imagined it this way, so we could probably find a middle ground of some kind.
Okay. They probably did like have like quote unquote reshoots.
Yeah, they didn't talk about it. They like chatted about it. They probably didn't just. He was there. I guarantee he was like in the room with.
Yeah, he just wasn't. Okay, here's my
Yeah,
ideas.
here's my paper. Go at it. Yeah,
Definitely not me.
yeah. That wasn't it.
Maybe he didn't put too much thought into it. He's like, here's like the precipice. I want to see where you take it, and I'll make some minor alterations if we collide. Okay. That makes more sense.
I would like to ask if anybody had any particular favorite scenes from any of the episodes, or if any episode of the last, technically 3.
Let's talk about the
more than the others.
and what the scene that probably stuck out to me the most in the last 3 was the I liked the Clayface fight. I liked the skeleton dance, and I really liked Frankenstein shooting her. I mean, the bride shooting the princess in the head, and the scene of them walking at the end to the castle. Those are like the scenes that made me be like, that's badass.
I have a couple of scenes too. Can we explain like what was Frankenstein's role in all of this?
To be a stalker, dude. That's his whole entire deal.
I think he was also like comedic relief.
That, and also he was supposed to be like the reason why Rick Flag could fight against Clayface.
Yeah.
You know, he was the muscle.
He's the There's an immediate loss.
Yeah,
there.
the reason why Rick Flag didn't immediately die.
I was thinking I couldn't figure out the voice behind Frankenstein, and I knew it.
Like they didn't say it at the beginning of every episode.
Why I saw it one time and I skipped it.
My love, he does the best voice acting out of anyone in the show, I think.
I think so because I loved it and I knew who it was.
Yeah,
and I had to look it up. I couldn't. I was blanking.
And I'm not trying to discount Alan Tudyk. I love Alan Tudyk and Sean Gunn and G.I. Robot. I think those are the 2 other standouts. But if we're being honest here, Alan Tudyk is kind of just being Alan Tudyk, but swearing more. So, David Harbour just talking in like his broken English, not broken English, he like with the weird pauses. It's so funny.
So it's not how I would imagine Frankenstein, but I can't see it any other way now.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
It's like the Frankenstein.
And he talks poetically, which is really nice because that's how the Frankenstein talks in the book. He talks very like Shakespearean in a way. So like it's nice to see that he's not like a bumbling idiot, but he kind of is in a way, you know, but in a good way.
Oblivious. Yeah. He's like so dumb. He's actually and like ignorant to some things. Like I have a couple,
and he definitely is a huge red flag, but I think it's okay, and we're allowed to say it's funny because he gets shot a bunch. So it works out.
Not a real human. He is very clearly
yes. Even though this might be something that could possibly happen in real life, it's different in the show. It's funny.
Even amalgamation of humans.
Yes. Okay. I think we should move off the topic of stalkers.
I do have a couple of things to say. Like one thing about Frankenstein was he had a quote saying, "Should I kill the professor, or so would the kid?"
And he's like, "Why are we here?" And then they're all looking at him, and he goes, "Oh, I think I dropped my contact lens."
Yeah, that was so good. He really was great. I love it.
David Harbour is fantastic. But my mom, every time we watch something with David Harbour, she goes, "I want to marry him," and I'm like, okay. When I'm famous, I'll make that happen. That'd be so funny.
I like that for you.
Yeah, don't worry. Like even though he is already happily married.
What made him? Was Stranger Things what put him out there?
I don't know. I think he was in more stuff because he was in Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad. Fun fact. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, he's just some military guy that's talking to Amanda Waller at the beginning and the end of the movie.
Interesting.
So Chan,
here's some of your sorry.
Yeah.
What were some of your other favorite scenes? I know you said the one Frankenstein quote.
Clayface playing on his Xbox Series X. Mortal Kombat. That you were talking about that last week, so I didn't understand it then.
Sorry, I placed it in the wrong area.
It's like understandable. It wasn't even that huge, but now I can see your theory.
Because they showcased it. They really should.
Yeah,
the second I watched it, I was like, oh, I said that wrong. But they showed it. They really did.
Yeah, it was cool. I thought it was just so funny though too. Like,
Yeah, dude, I can't believe you're in the Xbox. It makes it makes sense that Clayface is an Xbox head. That makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
like,
that's-
Really not made for better gaming.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, only C tier supervillains play the Xbox.
Yeah, and they're wannabe other people too. They're shapeshifters.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to be someone else. Trying to be someone better.
It's for real gamers only.
Yeah. On PC, obviously.
Right.
Mix of both. We're friends with both in this house.
Couple more. I'm just gonna speed them off. Rick Fly getting his back broken by Clayface.
Yeah, it was like Nightfall.
Oh, wait. What do you mean by?
The comic book, the Bane. It's called Batman Nightfall. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But I think it was under Nightfall. That's news to me.
That's the name of the comic.
But you think they were referencing that there because it looked almost
100%.
shot for shot.
Dude, okay, he's a Batman villain. Of course they were referencing that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like it looked exactly like it did in the comic.
Yeah, totally.
That was kind of cool. I appreciated that. I don't remember the context around it. Just fucking wrote down 5 words. And it says, "Oh, can it Ghost Rider?"
Oh, right. She says to Phosphorus, "Oh, can it, Ghost Rider?"
Oh,
Yeah.
can it? Oh, can it?
Yeah.
Okay, but that was funny. I really like that because
Yeah.
those don't make
Marvel
sense.
reference.
Right.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I wonder if she was referenced. Like, that made me think, like, I actually didn't write it down, but I thought to myself, like, so does that mean that the Marvel comic books are canon in the DCU? So, like, maybe DC Comics don't.
Is known.
Jeff the Land Shark does exist in the DCU, confirmed, because of Ghost Rider. Search for Skylar. Thank you for breaking that up.
Dude, I think they know about Rivals.
Dude, I think they do. I think they actually just pulled Rivals, and I think that that's the reason why Clayface was playing Mortal Kombat, was because he was sad that none of his friends played Xbox. Rivals with him.
You can't run comp.
Yeah, all of his friends were on PC, so he's like, well, I can't play comp.
So I'm not.
Yeah.
The last one I had was I liked, I think during episode 6 when Dr. Phosphorus was just murking people. It was really
He's at 5.
intriguing. Oh, that was 5.
Them good 6.
Was it 6?
Backstory.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, was it as bad? Wait, which
think-
murked?
well, which
He murked people in multiple parts.
Which does he just like walk through a tent?
That's 5.
Okay. I love that. That was so cool.
I think he just went
It was just so cool.
and then unzipped his pants slowly.
Yeah.
And went, so
Yeah. Burned right through their
Yeah.
faces.
that was
I like
awesome.
the animation for that and the detail was stellar.
Amazing. Yeah.
It did so good.
Um,
And when he like face planted the guy and his face was just liquid, like, or no, he put his glove on, I don't know, something like that.
was it
Everything with him looked so good.
was it during Dr. Phosphorus's backstory where someone gets caught on fire and they traditional 2D animate it for like 30 seconds and it looks amazing?
You mean the one where he's like gagging?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Phosphorus puts his hand on the ground. Yeah, I love that because that shocked me so much because that was not what I like. They do. I talked about this briefly last episode. Like a lot of like modern in American cartoons, mostly they do model work for animation. It's not easier. It's just a different type of animation style. And then traditional is more of like you have to draw each frame by frame. This looks kind of more like Invincible in a way than what like an anime would look like. But in that one scene, they animated in traditional, which is why it looks so different than. I'm trying to find it. I might actually just put it on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is so cool. You guys can't see it, but
We can't. But can they see it?
yeah, they'll be able to see it shortly. I think they'll be able to see it. Yeah, they'll be able to see it. I'm gonna wait until it's up there. Yeah, but I just wanted to explain that a little bit, and I'll show you guys what I mean here. So, nope. Okay, we're gonna have to rewind a little bit. You guys talk about something.
Okay, well, I can go through my favorite episodes or my favorite parts. I can definitely say that one of mine was whenever Dr. Phosphorus went into that house, like at the beginning of his flashback, and he was like seeing everything, and then the one girl came downstairs. He like got her food, sat with her at the table, and like played it outside.
Yeah.
And he saw like some of his other backstory, and then he's like, which way is to the
to the castle, and they go,
anyway, thank you. And then just like walked away.
yeah. But I like that
like
he
that
talked
one.
to her. It was so cute and soft, like way different than any way he talked previously in the show. Like whenever she said, like, I'm hungry in whatever language it was, and he was like, hungry. Huh. It was like just so different, you know, and I really like that.
Yeah, and then he said something about like smiling, and then he's like, it looks like I'm smiling, but I'm not. And then
That's good.
and then I also complete major switch up whenever Frankenstein was in the taxi talking about.
I know what you're doing.
Yes, I wrote it down. I was trying to find it real quick.
Okay.
He's describing his bride to the taxi driver, and he's describing the action she's going to make and how it's a mistake, and how whenever he helps her figure out that she's wrong, what is going to happen. And it was really funny. And I think if you haven't seen it, you should watch the show and just figure and see that part for yourself. I don't want to spoil that. It was really just out of nowhere.
But soft.
And I was like, what?
For chicks.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Absolutely insane.
So good.
And another one that I liked was in episode. Oh, it was also in episode 6. It was with the brothel, and Nina suggests playing categories.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
Does anyone have categories?
Yeah. I don't play game.
Yeah.
In categories. I was like, oh, that's so fitting.
That is.
She did want to play like one of those type of games
She does seem like.
with everybody instead. And then I also thought like I don't know. I'm just gonna call it like the quadruple twist was super cool
Yeah.
because it was like, oh, so we need to protect her, but it's like actually she's evil, so we have to go get her. And it's like, oh no, she's actually not, but she actually is. And it's like in such a short time period, you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
I think the
And,
main
got
part of the
crazy.
twist that was confusing was who you thought the main character was. Because, like, I feel like everyone went in thinking the main character was Rick Flag, when in reality, the main character is the bride. And you should have been paying attention to her storyline more than what Rick Flag's is. And I think that's super interesting because I honestly thought the show was so much better on my second time around, wherever I knew everything was happening and rewatching it, because I felt like the twists were too twisty the first time around. I was like, okay, this is so much back and forth. But when you rewatch it and see that everything was already there and laid out for you, it makes it feel tighter.
It wasn't even that I was like tripping over what was happening and what wasn't. I was able to like keep up with the twist, but the part in which like I realized I was watching like the wrong character was the very end, like the end credit scene to 7. What was it? It was 7, right?
Yeah.
Ended up, yeah.
Episode.
7.
Yeah.
Yes, whenever she gets her own
Yeah.
squad.
Deserved too,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, because I went in thinking that Rick and the squad were the main characters. So there was like roughly like 5 just like
shared,
yeah. And I was like, okay, so Rick died. So well, he didn't die.
Yeah.
But
he's not going to be in the show anymore. Amanda Waller is not going to
he
give
sadly did not maintain full physical form
Broken
the entire way through. So I was like, okay, so the main characters was actually just a squad. And then you know, yeah. I mean, obviously I knew G.I. Joe wasn't going to be a part of it, but I was like, okay, so it's pretty much like the Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus, Nina, and the bride. And then what happened to Nina? And then the bride started getting a lot more screen time. And I was like, kind of just like in the back of my mind, I was like, wow, we're seeing the bride a lot. And Dr. Phosphorus is sitting out in the hall right now, the Weasel. And then she got her own squad. And I was like, oh, okay, so
deserved.
he was actually the main focus of the entire show, which makes sense because they had one person trying to stalk her the entire time.
Yeah.
So she was like always relevant in the story, whether she was on screen or not, which like reflecting on was really cool, but like not something I noticed in the moment. But like as I'm speaking, I was like a lot of dots were connecting.
Yeah. Skylar, I mean, not Skylar, Chandler. I thought that the robot at first was Mr. Robot from like at the very end where you see the larger feet. I thought it was Mr. Robot from Doom Patrol. And then I was like, I'm fucking stupid. Why did I think that was that? It's obviously
That would be crazy, though.
Yeah.
What is crazy?
Because he is technically a monster. It makes sense. And I assumed that G.I. Robot was dead because Well, he died.
His head was intact, I guess.
Yeah.
Really all that matters, right? That's where like his AI and whatever.
I wonder how he's gonna react to finding out Nina's dead next
I
season.
know. Maybe he won't remember.
Maybe.
Or if they like didn't I do remember all the
buddies.
I'm gonna do something real quick because I said I was gonna do it and I don't want to forget. I'm gonna do a quick animation lesson real quick for anyone here. So you guys, I'm sorry, you guys can't see this, but you could go back in the video and watch it. So if you guys can tell that there's a little bit of darker lines here. This is like a model that they put into it and then moved so that it would be into the shape. You'll see very soon the difference. So darker lines for everything here. Once it hits it, see, those are super thin lines. That's all redrawn animation instead of just being a model that's traced over again. We can look at that again real quick, just because it was quick. So dark lines, that's a model. Now it's 2D animation. Someone's redrawing every single frame of that because of how thin it is and the different like design details into it. And it's really well done, I think. One of the best moments in the show that's like really slept on, I think, just because of the animation switch. All right. Sorry.
I have another question.
I have an answer, maybe.
What did you think about? Well, I have two completely unrelated. What did you think about Frankenstein and Rick's like bonding episode? Particularly with Frankenstein in the house before they figure out that it is Clayface.
Where he like falls onto his shoulder and he's like, no, he's like standing behind the bird's nest and he's like, "Do you think you're hidden?" He's like, "Do you think I give a shit?"
Yeah. And lightly before that, whenever they're downstairs and Rick's on the phone,
Did you tell her about me?
Can you tell her to tell the bride that I have changed? Like,
How would
Ella,
you know
I'm
that
a
we're
good man.
pros and I'm totally different? Like,
yeah, and she would, and she should get to know me. You think like, just like kind of like that. Wow, he's on the phone about a serious thing.
I the character really funny in like the best way possible. It was good. I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Chandler, did you like the specific scene where he's like looking at the helmet and then Rick calls him upstairs and he puts the helmet back really quick and you see it like fall a bit?
Yeah, that was what I love. I just love Frankenstein, Jen. I think he's such a fun character. But we have to give the writer kudos because most of these characters suck. They are horrible. Horrible.
Like evil people, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we still love him. Like Dr. Phosphorus, he's a serial killer.
Yeah, he is like he's a mob boss to the extreme. He said, "I'm sorry."
What a
Yeah.
And he just puts his hand through his face. What do you mean?
Dude, and what he did to my boy Alexi is fucked up, dude. I cannot believe that.
Oh yeah. The drive thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I liked him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my
But
boy.
I think that the writing was stellar because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them had like a lot of sob stories, which are immediately to appeal to that. But I thought it did a great job. This is why James Gunn's and the Kevin Clark movies.
I hope they have a higher budget because I really liked whenever the animation was stellar, and I just want that animation style to be like all over the place. I have a video coming out hopefully at the beginning. Hopefully at the beginning of February because that's when Invincible comes out, and the second that season comes out, it's gonna like completely it's gonna either really make the second half of my video amazing or it's gonna completely kill it dead flat. But like I need to get it out before then because I'm not leaving it up to chance. Like I don't want that to happen, you know? So but I do talk about Creature Commandos a lot in it, and I compare that to the topic of the video, which is X-Men, and I heavily compare both of those to Invincible, and I talk about that and my opinions of like the show. But that was completely different. I love the animation in the show, and I hope it gets better. I hope next year's season 2 is like fantastic.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah. Oh, also one other thing to say about the show. The third episode, Cheers to the Tin Man, got nominated for a couple awards.
Just wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, you're right. My bad. It should have been. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it won yet because I don't think they've like rolled around, but that's been nominated. But one thing I do, you guys can call me stupid for this opinion. I'm completely prepared to be like, yeah, that's fair. I think it should have been 10 episodes, and I don't think it should have had more content, but I think the content should have been more breathed. I think maybe one more episode, maybe 8 episodes. I felt like it went fast at certain points, except for episode 4. I felt like that was a pretty well paced one, but that might be the reason why the twist might feel a little fast or confusing, because it happens over the course of like 1.5 episodes. I don't know. I still am not super confident, because I rewatched it 2 days ago, and that's what my opinion was whenever I finished it. And I still don't know if I actually like agree with it. That's why I waited this long into the episode to say that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about what I just said there?
I think the pace was actually good as it was. I think it was, I think the 7 episodes was good, but I think if you add another episode, it makes some of the things feel more drawn out, and you don't really get the like anxiety rush that's kind of like they're targeting for with all these twists and all like the high paced action. It's like a little slowed down more, so it's still like high paced, but there's like longer time periods, so it's like high paced action, little bit, high paced action, little bit. Whereas this one, it's like action, twist, action, 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 twist, action, where it like always keeps you on your toes, it's kind of going. So I thought the pace was good. Episode 4 was like a nice like little like wait time period, yeah, where it wasn't just like fast throughout, so it didn't like feel stale. I think it was like a nice break right in the center.
I think I'm changing my opinion
a lot of the action. And then so I don't know if I necessarily agree with you saying adding another episode would, like, I don't know if you said help, but maybe like fix the pacing. I think the pacing was good, and I kind of enjoyed it the way it was.
Most of the episodes, 29, 25, 22,
play pace a little more for me, just because it really wasn't that obvious for me. Like that, the between the double and triple twists, I think. Like, Guy, you're describing how like they're protecting her and nobody kill her. Then oh no, James is not good. Oh, that's she actually really was evil. Like that's kind of like you're right. There's 4 change of opinions. Between that 2 and 3rd, I was really I got confused.
Like when Rick Flag was like, she's good. That's probably where it got confusing, because one of the characters is confused.
Yeah. So because Clayface seemingly came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if Rick never found Clayface, it's like that whole part of the plot is kind of doesn't make sense, or doesn't like actually apply,
I totally
right?
agree. And I think that you have to do some workarounds to try and think that out, because like what we talked about at the beginning of the episode, we were like, oh, Clayface would have shown himself anyway, but like they didn't explain that at all. So
I was playing both of them, play more combat.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go see.
That's why
some of those games and then go play more combat.
Yeah,
I feel like that's why the princess left with Rick Flag initially, was to get her connected. Whenever they figured out that, oh, she's bad, Rick Flag's like, no, that can't be true. I need to get a second opinion. And then he's going back to the person who originally told her that she was evil, finding out that, oh, it was Clayface all along. Like, it has to be a lie, and kind of like feeding into that. So I think the setup for the where's Clayface into this was actually in the first episode, because the princess, I guess, was bent on him
without a doubt, you're right on that. Like, she wanted him to get attached, but I think the big turning point was in episode 4 and 5, because you hit something that really convinced me and brought me onto your side there. There's not really any other choice for a Rick Flag to have looked for some way to poke a hole in Cersei's plan, Like, what other options did he have,
Yeah.
He's had to go to the one. He likes her. He wants to figure it out. The only things he knows is we have Cersei and we have the girl that backed up Cersei. So, and he can't exactly go and talk to Cersei without her fucking with his brain. So the only other choice he has is to go talk to the girl that backed her up.
Yeah, and he went there. It was like, oh, it was Clayface.
Yeah, Bing Bong.
It has to be a lie. It has to be a lie. It's a setup.
Yeah.
And that's just
worked out like that. So, yeah. I will say, like, if there's a slight weakness to the plot, it's probably there.
I do agree with that, actually. I do agree.
It makes sense.
I think it could also be the bride looking at the cameras to find out that the princess was working with Clayface. That's like another one. The bride just was going through like looking for weak points and just happened to stumble upon on it, which I mean, obviously,
he didn't know who Clayface had any part in this until that phone call from Waller.
Yeah.
Right? She just saw Clayface and the princess. She didn't know Clayface was impersonating the dog.
Also, if we're being honest, the bride doesn't care. Like, regardless of if Clayface was actually fucking with it or not, she was going to kill the princess regardless.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily matter if she was right or not.
Yeah, she was probably doing the same. Like, if Clayface was lying and the princess was good, I still think the ending would have happened the exact same as Nina died.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered.
Okay. So this might end up being a long episode because we're already at 45 minutes, but there is stuff that I feel like is important. And I'll explain why now. So this is going to be the last superhero thing we're going to be talking about until the summertime, because we're all kind of like, we need a break for a little bit. This was great and we all enjoyed it for the most part, but there's a lot of superhero stuff coming out in the next 5 months and we just don't want to cover it. So we're not gonna, but what we decided on was that once a year, we're going to reserve 2 to 3 months to just solely talk about superhero content, because there just is literally that much out there. And that's going to be TV shows and movies and comic books. We're going to throw the entire shebang in there. So we're going to have a little bit of a celebratory thing at the beginning, at the beginning, end, and also middle of the year. So we're going to have the tier lists at the end of the year and slightly at the beginning of the year, depending on how that goes. And then halfway through the year, we're going to have superhero summer, where we go and we watch and talk and have fun stuff with superheroes and read. Yeah. But we're done now after this. But after the next thing I'm going to say, we're going to be done with superheroes. What do you guys think? Because Chandler mentioned this a little bit before the podcast about the prophecy and how that impacts the future of DCU.
His analysis, the princess is unalive.
Yeah, hypothetically that won't happen. Because I remember last week Chandler saying that he didn't like how she's so pivotal in the overarching story of the DCU, and
it just mattering.
What?
It just matter from a TV show too. It's how we're supposed to just believe that she's now super important.
But the prophecy is real. So she actually was, regardless of if she was alive or not, technically speaking, she was the linchpin in Superman's death, which is crazy to me. I think that's an insane thing that, I guess that makes sense if you have an army, but where are the supers, how does she impact the universe that much that somehow her and Gorilla Grodd, the big monkey man, can team up and take down Superman?
It's no coincidence early on that this her kingdom was so far in the past, and whenever she took power, she was going to make sure to push it forward. So I assume it has something to do with that. And she found something, or found somebody, Gorilla Grodd, who could help her move forward, made an alliance, and then power meets power, others join in for the cause, and then eventually just took over, and she was just the main figurehead. But I doubt she was the super pivotal thing. It was probably all the other people she had with her and her.
She was on the TV while Gorilla Grodd was the brain.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Well, Gorilla Grodd probably had other people who were strictly just fighters.
Yeah, essentially. He had his own League of Villains or whatever. I think that's what it is in the DC's League of Villains.
I'll like that. It's no Lego. It's no Lego Mania.
It was in Young Justice. I don't know, evil villain DC team. Legion of Doom. That's what it is.
League of Villains is for My Hero.
You're right. The second you said that, I realized it. That's funny. Legion of Doom is DC. They have too many of these. Just stop making superhero universes. I'm kidding. Keep making them.
True.
But I don't know. Make them good, at least.
So to get back on track, it is kind of insane that a normal human is that pivotal in a world full of superheroes.
Yeah.
Well, supervillains. But at the same time, I think she might have just had enough money to meet the right people.
Batman's a superhero.
He has
I don't want to. I don't really want to compare her to like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's a better comparison than Batman.
That's kind of what I was thinking. She's kind of just a really rich person, kind of knows what they need, goes out and buys it.
Not smart wise, but money wise, she's just able to do that. It doesn't matter how smart she is if she has Grodd.
Yeah, and the money to fund whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that makes sense. So I guess Grodd now just has to find a different money man. Maybe that's going to be Lex Luthor in like a end credit scene of Superman. Someone write that down. I'm predicting. No,
write that down.
Write that down. Then on January 20th, Zach predicted the future.
Yeah, when does Superman come out?
That's an interesting thing that I would not have thought about.
July 11th.
So
if that's going to be in superhero summer.
Yeah, we'll be able to tell other references video again.
Yeah. We're actually going to, I have a lot of it scheduled already. I think you guys have seen some of it for that, which is fun. I'm excited. I think it's going to be, some of it's going to be interesting. Maybe not all of it's going to be good, but some of it's going to be interesting.
I saw some of them. I saw some of them.
Yeah.
But, did we want to give our rating for the Creature Commandos for the whole series?
We can wrap it up and give ratings for Creature Commandos.
Chandler, did you want to start?
Yeah.
Start? Yeah, you were the one that had the most like questions and most confusion about it. So I want to see if any of that clarity improved, ruined some of the...
So my initial impressions were outstanding. I wanted to give it a 10, but I wasn't.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Now I'm going to give it an 8. I'd settle that I think an 8 is deserving because I love the first 3. The 4th one was a little mid, and 6 is amazing. 5, I thought, I'm not going to lie, before you, like what was 5 again?
5 was Frankenstein's backstory, but also the team recoming. Going back to Chuck saw that face. Going back to the princess in the castle.
What?
They're doing here now.
I would maybe say that episode 4 is the least favorite, and I might put that next to it. I'm not certain. Maybe a rewatch if necessary, but
I like that fight scene.
I do like that fight scene.
And the fight scene, like, sometimes they have like music, and there might not have.
That's a James Gunnerism. Come on, everyone knows that. Music in a fight scene, that's his thing. That's what he's known for.
Doesn't really. I heard that, like, I don't want to go on a small tangent where Norse warrior. Has anyone here seen Arcane?
No, don't say anything, please. I've seen the first season. Don't see this. I want to watch the second season so badly, but I'm waiting. Me and G have a series of TV shows that we're gonna watch when we move in together, just because we don't have enough time right now, and Arcane's one of them. So I want to watch that with her.
And I won't say it because I don't even know what I was about to say is true or not.
Okay.
It's just what I've heard.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. I think it gets a date. It was fun. I'm so glad G.I. Robot's back.
Dude, I know, it's so sick. I'm so happy about him. Time to kill Nazis. He's so... Sean Gunn kills it with that. Weasel was in the new team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Speaking of Weasel, I wanted to say 2 things, and one would already remember. Weasel I forgot. Loki and Weasel's kind of crap.
He's strong, bro. He's the only one to damage Dr. Phosphorus in the entire show.
Because he's immune to bullets, right? But his claws was scratched.
Technically, the bullets never hit him, though, so we never saw what would happen if they actually made contact with him.
You're saying that they melted?
Yeah, he put his hand out and I melted in the air.
But Weasel did it. Means he's stronger than radiation.
Well, I would go ahead and assume that Dr. Phosphorus wasn't radiating at that moment.
Oh, maybe he could just control his...
Yeah.
Because when he bit, his face didn't melt entirely. Just got red.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have seen him touch people.
Yeah.
He's touched...
He pats the bride on the back at the end.
Yeah. Yes. Was he wearing gloves?
No.
Okay.
Skylar, you're up next.
I gave it an 8.5. I thought it was pretty well deserved. I didn't quite think it was up to a 9, but but I definitely thought it was higher than an 8. So I guess I just settled there. I mean, pretty logical solution. Not quite a 9, not quite an 8. But yeah, it was good. There is some episodes that I thought were for sure bangers. Some of them that I was for, that I was like, it's all right. Like, it's good. It's necessary. Not my favorite. So that's going to lower it for me. And then obviously 6 was really good. 5, good. 7 was good. 1, 2, and 3 were good. But
3 was amazing.
Winning
they were really good.
Die, Nazi!
Yeah, like the humor was funny. But I liked obviously I want to see my favorite character's backstory. So that one was more important to me. And then I thought the ending was actually really good.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. The ending was.
So damn fun.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8. I think I'm doubling down on my opinion that I wish it was a little, maybe not an extra episode, but I wish the episodes were a little bit longer, because I'm thinking on like Invincible, and I think the pacing of Invincible is like ideal for the most part, where you have enough time for the characters to breathe and for you to like process everything. I just wish the animation was a little bit better on that show. And I think that if we had, instead of maybe like 22-minute episodes, like 30-minute episodes, I think that would have been perfect, probably, instead of like 8 episodes. Other than that, less nudity in my animation, please. I would really appreciate that. But other than those 2 small points, it was a great show. Really fantastic. All around.
I'm just gonna be greedy. I'm not gonna hide it. When you're asking about like the pacing, I wanted more. I wanted more episodes.
Yeah.
So good. I want more. I want the second season. I'm so glad.
I just think if we made like, I don't know how to do it in a way that makes sense, but maybe less backstory, more current stuff, because I want to see more bonding within the team. Obviously they weren't trying to push them as a family like they usually do in the team shows. Like, they weren't like, and we're best friends and whatever, because obviously Dr. Phosphorus didn't give a fuck when Nina died. But I want,
or whenever they had to put down Weasel.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "Can I put him down?" Yeah, yeah. But I do wish that like there was more talking between them. Like, they barely communicated, because episode 5, 6, and 5 and 6, they weren't even together. They went home in 4. They were together in 1 and 2, and then there was like mainly flashback in episode 3. But the only ones that really talked were the bride and Nina for the most part, and like Dr. Phosphorus sometimes interchangeably with the people.
Rick talked a good bit at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, and then he left the team.
Anyway, talk about much.
Yeah.
You be like a charismatic leader.
Yeah.
For what you want to happen, Zach.
Yeah.
And the bride, she is not in it.
I think she will be next season, because I think she had a bit of character development over this season of her developing a friend and then losing it. So I think I thought Rick Flag. I honestly thought Rick Flag was charismatic enough. I do like Frank Grillo, and I think Rick Flag in Suicide Squad 2 is one of the best characters in the movie, in my opinion. So I do think that the Flag bloodline has the ability to be that like charismatic of a leader. He just left halfway through it, so he couldn't have done that, you know? So I was just looking for more communication as a team, and that's kind of one I want the most out of season 2.
At the time to Sam, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a nice fix.
Yeah. Not that it was a fix, like, not that it wasn't bad. Like I said, they weren't trying to be a family. They just were doing a mission. But I don't know. You have all these weird people together, have them talk.
I feel like they also definitely could have saved Nina. She only got stabbed in this time. They definitely could have saved her.
Well,
yeah, like that's what I keep thinking about. Like she definitely didn't have to die.
They stabbed her.
Like, I don't know why she did. She like had to, but she didn't.
What are the redeeming? This is gonna sound form. What are the redeeming qualities that?
What Amanda Waller said at the beginning was she's the smartest out of all of them. She's the most personable out of all of them, and she said that she's going to be the one that keeps the team together. I jotted those down because I was like, I need to know what she brought to this team, because after watching the show for the first time, I could not find it. So I was looking for what Waller was bringing here to, and that's what Waller said.
He knows 4 languages. Not cool,
huh?
He knows 4 languages.
Yeah, cool. Neat. What did that do?
Yeah, and then when she was in the water, like what that was supposed to be where she's at her strongest.
Yeah, and she got destroyed.
We didn't see that.
He's not like a fighter.
Yeah,
he was never. That was never one of her.
She was just going to be the personality.
Yeah, but I also think she was mainly there to keep like the bride in check and the bride with them all. That was like mainly what she did. Because I think if it wasn't for her, the bride would have just left. Done whatever. It's just like, if it kills me, it kills me. Whatever. I'll sew back on my head and then get going, I guess.
You're necessarily for the bride to evolve. Right. Okay.
Okay, we're already at an hour.
No more than that.
We're going to move on if that's okay.
Okay. I have all my quarrels are off so far.
Okay.
As well.
I'm gonna blitz the news, and then we're gonna have like the quickest possible what we watching. So so originally, due to a leak that happened recently, Solo Leveling was planned to have 6 seasons, but now it's going to have 5 in an actual movie. I think that's better. I think that's gonna be. I just like that process way more than doing 6 seasons, because like, especially if you don't need to do that long, like why lengthen it? But they're also making more spin-offs. So right now we have Solo Leveling Ragnarok, which follows I'm not going to say because I guess that's technically a spoiler, but it's the sequel series to Solo Leveling. But they're also making
word about that too.
Yeah, you could go ahead into that actually if you want.
It's post cause writer
author died. Wait,
author.
No, got into an accident. Car accident.
Yeah, no.
Didn't die? Okay.
Just announced it.
Yeah. Did I say author? I meant illustrator. The illustrator.
Illustrator. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the author.
Was it the author?
I thought so.
I don't think it's the author. Was it?
I thought. I could be wrong.
I don't fucking know. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know. But they're working on side stories for Igris and a upcoming shadow called Ashbourne. So be on the lookout for those.
I know Caden is a huge fan of Igris, so I know he's gonna be.
G loves Igris, dude. G thinks Igris is sick as fuck, and he is. Totally is. Yeah,
he is.
That's like your favorite animated moment was when Igris like beats the fuck out of Jinwoo in that one scene. Like,
yes,
specifically the scene where Jin spins around, kicks Igris in the head, and he just rages out and starts beating the fuck out of him. That's G's favorite animated moment.
Second season?
First season.
First season. The very end. Arise. The exact end of the name.
Yeah.
Already get that stuff.
That's okay, bro.
God.
So there's another leak in Marvel that came out that said that George Miller of Happy Feet and Mad Max fame, he is going to be directing a Hulk project. It's TBD if it's going to be a movie or a TV show yet, but it's following World War Hulk, which is something that Marvel has been wanting to make for the last like 10 years.
So,
yeah, so that's crazy that's happening. No. Okay. So why did I screenshot this? Oh, I screenshotted this because these were the confirmed 100% upcoming DC slate, but I kind of already talked about that. I did miss out on a couple things. So the next season of Harley Quinn is coming out, and it's out, actually. It just came out January 16th. Yeah.
5th season, right?
Yeah, 5th season just came out. Superman's coming out July 11th. Peacemaker season 2 is still TBD, the exact date, but that's coming out in August. And like I said, Supergirl and Clayface are coming, but also a TV show called Lanterns, which is in the DCU, and the Batman 2 is still cooking. So that's what we have going on. But they changed the name. It's no longer the Batman 2. It's the Batman something. We just don't know what it is yet. So there's a bunch of DC shenanigans going on. Chandler, I lied to you. I did screenshots the thing I told you to bring into the podcast, but we're just going to move on. We're getting a new trailer for One Punch Man Season 3 in March. Wow, this is sad news immediately after that. Very famous director David Lynch passed away a couple days ago at 78, which is always sad to see. And the final news, I have 2 news before Chandler can go. We're getting the new Spider-Man TV show is coming out, guys. Are you excited? January 29th, episodes 1 and 2. February 5th, episodes 3, 4, and 5. February 12th, episodes 6, 7, and 8. February 19th, episodes 9 and 10. Who's excited for the Spider-Man TV show? Raise your hand. Are you actually?
No.
I was going to say, Skylar, I would be shocked if you watched this. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I would be too.
Is it kind of anything? Is it?
It's a spin-off of it's essentially like a what if.
Okay.
It's what if Norman Osborn mentored Spider-Man instead of Tony Stark. Essentially.
Interesting.
Yeah. It looks fine. Like, I don't have any like positive or negative feelings towards it right now. Something terrible. Actually, no, this is good. It was terrible. Sony was working on a live service God of War game.
I heard that.
Yeah, terrible news hearing that. If you ever hear live service, you should cry because it's going to be bad usually, unless it's Marvel Rivals. But thankfully, thank God they canceled it. They are no longer working on the live service God of War game. Thank God. Because I think they realized that no one would buy that. At least I wouldn't. They would ruin the franchise for me, I think.
What would you do with that? Like, I don't understand how like live service.
Yeah, nothing. You do nothing. Oh, I have one more news. The news is that to follow Frankie's voice actor stepping down, Shanks's voice actor is now stepping down. So there are 2 Japanese voice actors for One Piece characters that are no longer going to be doing it.
How's that? What's your guys' opinions? Because again,
Dude, he's fucking 80.
Oh.
He can't do it forever.
Yeah, and that
I would appreciate if he could, but I understand why he
Dude,
can't.
he's been voicing Shanks for like 30 years.
Yeah.
so
And Frankie is not an easy voice to do, bro.
No, that's not easy. Yeah, there's a lot of effort in every single word.
Yeah.
So you think they'll find something?
Yeah,
That's more
Toto's voice actor is the new Frankie.
Okay.
From Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know who the new Shanks is yet. Toto is Frankie now. Yeah, so that's how it's gonna go. I'm out of my news. Chandler, did you have anything you wanted to talk about in the segment of the podcast?
I do have something.
Dude, that's crazy. Who would have
I
thought?
looked it up a couple minutes ago because I didn't forget. I didn't. I didn't.
No way.
I really did. I was like,
I
I have
texted you separately.
I know. I was like, I never have news this time in the the podcast. Like, wait,
Did I?
totally gave me something to say.
Yeah.
What? Daredevil Born Again's trailer.
Yeah, bro. I don't think that was misplaced, right? You watched the first 3 seasons?
I watched all Daredevil, except the movies. Movies. I've never seen that.
I've seen the movies. I mean, movie singular. I've seen the one.
Oh, movie. I know it's like a funny bad movie.
Terrible. Yeah, it's amazing.
But no, I've seen all. I've seen most of the Netflix Marvel stuff.
I haven't
Like
actually.
Daredevil a lot.
I've watched all Daredevil. I've watched Defenders, and I've watched Punisher season 1.
I love Punisher. I want more. I'm so well. He's in the trailer,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to Punisher.
I bet you screamed and shouted whenever you saw him pop up.
I did a little. Did a little bit. They're a little unrecognizable at first.
Fuck, what was it? I was gonna scream an alt, but it was gonna be Winter Soldiers. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Judge, jury, executioner. I was about to pause and go, armed and dangerous, but I was like, wait, that's not right at all.
Oh, that's so funny if you said that. So they'd be like, oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, you could say that in the Thunderbolts trailer. Chandler, we should go watch Thunderbolts, and the second Bucky does something, we just go armed and dangerous, like out in the middle of the theater.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
imagine how funny that would be, bro. That would be
What
so
is-
good.
Honestly, like I wouldn't even be embarrassed because it's like a stint, and someone's gonna laugh because they know exactly
Dude,
what's
the
going on.
majority of people are gonna be so upset. This Marvel Rivals is going to bring in like a new age of like terrible theater goers. Like that, it's gonna be the new like Skibbity Toilet and the Fortnite. I mean, not the Fortnite, the Five Nights at Freddy's. Like that's gonna be the next thing.
Oh
The
my
next
God.
Marvel movie. Whenever we go watch the Captain America movie, the second the Red Hulk transforms, you hear some kid go, "I'm hulking out."
Or you hear see Captain America run across the screen.
Assemble!
Yeah. Or Spider-Man starts slaying like, what if he go, and Spider-Man goes, don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Dude, it's gonna be so crazy. You know for a fact that like over the next 5 years, that's probably gonna happen to us at least once.
And then every single movie after is going to be like, dude, what is this team comp? They got 3 Vanguards and 3 DPSs. Where's the support?
Dude, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch Thunderbolts and be like, dude, what the fuck is this? They're all DPS, every single one of them. How did they even think they were gonna win?
I'd argue that who's Harper's character?
David Harbour.
Right.
Oh, he's a tank. You're right. He is a tank. Yeah, he's Captain America essentially. He's a tank. No healers though. They don't have a healer.
Oh, healer.
They do have armed and dangerous though. So I think that's fine.
Me.
They have another sniper. They have another sniper and a Yelena.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they have essentially 2 Black Widows basically.
That's what I was going to say. Black Widow Part 2.
Yeah, whatever. All right, that's the end of my news. Me and Chandler are really excited for Daredevil season 4. All right, go ahead.
Zach, what have you been watching?
Oh, geez, good transition this time. Good transition this time, Skylar. I am proud of you. That was good. I've actually been watching a lot. So I've been continuing to read Aragon. I've been playing the Sea of Stars game that I've been going at. Obviously, Rivals and Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6, I was hoping was going to drop off the radar soon, but they're dropping a new map in like a week. So me and Chandler have something to grind soon. So yeah, me and him have a busy schedule this upcoming year, which is really fun for both of us who are very busy people.
Well, what'd you say? 8 to 12?
Yeah, we're gonna get 8 to 12 maps total, which is crazy. We're not gonna be able to handle that. Like that's wild. I think that's unbelievable, but
first time I'll be able to say I've played Call of Duty every single month of the year.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Which I'm not happy to be bringing you in with this one, but like we've committed. I've decided that this is going to be for a larger, grander video, so this is going to be worth it in the end. So it'll be okay. The other thing I watched was me and G are continuing to watch Castlevania because Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 came out last Thursday. So we're just trying to grind up into that because I showed her the trailer and she thought Richter was sick. And I was like, well, that's cool, but we're not going to watch Series 2 before we watch Series 1. So I'm going to make you watch that. And then she really enjoyed Dracula's backstory, which if you've watched Season 1 and you don't like Dracula's backstory, then you're cold-hearted and terrible. The other things I watched, 2 more things. I watched a movie called Kingpin, which is a movie about Woody Harrelson being insane at bowling and then losing his right hand, and then he has to gain his confidence back. But I honestly think it wasn't my favorite movie that G's family has shown me of the comedy movies. I think it like really loses the plot towards the end, but it was really good up until like the end bit where it kind of was like filling in holes, I felt like. And I don't know, it was funny for the most part. And then the other thing I watched was the Black Clover movie again, which is awesome. I love that movie. Great one. It's one of the only anime movies that I feel like fits pretty cleanly into the story without any plot holes and is a really great watch.
Boys, I do have a question about that, and that is Chandler. What have you been watching?
Jesus, you're reading Black Clover. You had me on that one.
I am, but I'm not that far yet. I'm definitely not there.
Yeah, you're probably not. It's after the first time skip.
You go ahead, Chandler. I'll bring it up with.
Whenever he's done
for a minute, but I never I got past the one Elbark. Right?
Did you go through the trial?
Trial?
Yeah, the courtroom.
Probably not.
Okay, then you can't.
I stopped. Like there were some really cool fight scenes, but it really was bad animation.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about?
It goes back and forth. It really does.
Yeah, but I still loved it. I still thought it was.
I love Black Clover. Black Clover is one of the best. It just straight up is. I love it.
What animation style is that?
That's traditional. That's what I was telling you.
No, I mean, I went on Reddit once because I was like, what is this? I want to see more shows with this kind of artistic style.
Yes.
And they called it like where like they don't fill in detail, so it's flashy.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, there is a name for it. I don't know what that is. But yeah. But
I dug
that can only be done in traditional because models don't look like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to trace.
Yeah. Well, no, that is tracing it. Traditional is tracing it. Models is just placing an image there and then moving it because it has like all the features.
Okay. Right. They're making nude frame by frame
Yeah, that's traditional.
and they're drawing it. Okay.
Yes.
So back to what you said, Sky. What have I been watching? Well, funny your house. I watched The Revenant. What I said I was going to try and watch last week. I watched all of it, not in one sitting. It took like 4. That movie was long. It's very good.
Isn't it like 2 hours? I thought it wasn't one of the crazy ones.
It's just a slow movie, though.
Fair.
It's
It is
pretty
slow. It is slow. I'm not going to deny that.
It felt long.
Sorry.
It was still really entertaining. You're right, but like, wow.
I just put you right on the spot there. Sorry.
It is only 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Well,
You're instantly
2 hours 30 is pretty long. I thought it was 2 hours flat. That was my bad. 2 hours 30 is pretty long.
Hilarious that you called him out on. He's like, well, it was actually just really slow.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's no like 3-hour long film. Don't get that impression. Read a chapter of What If Loki was worthy. Still have to put a lot more time into that, but
Yeah, you're not anywhere close.
that's not my. Unfortunately, it's not my priority. I
That's fine.
made a semi bad financial decision.
We love those.
I could have gotten a remastered game for $10 or $50. I knew what I was doing. What decision do you guys think I did?
I am going to bet you picked the $10.
Dude, you presented us with dude. You made yourself look like an idiot. There's no way you're pulling out information here. You were like, it either costs $50 or it costs $10, and I bought the $50 one. Obviously, what are we filling in? What information are we filling in?
On Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yes.
PS exclusive.
Yeah.
And I owned it on PS4.
Yes.
Remastered because you own the original. They have a
I see where this is going. Yeah.
you can get like $10. But I wanted it on my PC because I can go to higher frames and I can just use the GPU to.
I just remembered something.
But I don't own the PC original version. So to get the remastered, I have to pay the full price.
And you paid
Which
full price.
I did. I only did it because I could still get trophies.
That's
When I
fine.
get out, when you go to your trophies now, it'll say PS4 or PS5. It will now say PC. So I'll just always be able to like, oh yeah, I got those on PC.
Huh. Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Not really. No.
If you go to a game, it'll be in black PS4 or in white PS5. It does that.
I didn't know those actually.
Go to Tsushima. I played it on PS4 and PS5, so it's like 2 separate games almost. And I have been trophies for each one.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay. I do know what you're talking about. Actually, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you meant like it showed like a little symbol on it, like in one bar, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Can I chime in real quick? I forgot to say something.
I'm done.
So okay. I forgot to mention. I didn't write it up there, but it was what I said at the very beginning of the episode. I was like, oh, there's an example of sex and things that I said in what we watching. It was Bullet Train. I rewatched Bullet Train again. I love that movie. And there's like a sex scene with the wolf, and they just don't show any of it. They show them like laying down into bed, and then the camera moved around it, and we were like, oh, we got the idea. None of us were like, what the fuck happened next? You know? Like, holy shit, no way. You know?
Whatever. No.
Like, we get the gist of it. I mean, I feel like the only reason why you'd be like, no, we need to see all of it is if you're a weirdo or you have like some sort of kink with whatever is on the screen. Those are the two.
Like necrophilia.
Yeah. Yeah. You either have a kink with what's going on the screen, or you're just weird and you like to watch like essentially porn with a group of people. Those are the options here.
Each their own, right?
Yeah. To each their own. That's my bit. All right, Chandler, ready? 3,
Yes.
2, 1. Skylar, what are you watching?
Oh,
We'll get there. What did you say?
That's the
No,
done.
that was not good. That was very good. Nice.
so I haven't been watching a whole ton recently because with school starting, my master's classes started a couple days ago, so I've been trying to do some of that work. Spoiler, I had another mouse in my house, so I have to figure that out again.
Spoiler for all the FBI agents watching Skylar's live cam, bro. They weren't caught up on that episode.
If they see me angrily checking my drawers a ton, that's why. But solution should be fixed now, permanently. If it's not, I'm going to look like the Red Hulk.
I'm hulking.
But Me and Lily are on. I think we're halfway through season 3 of Game of Thrones. I feel like we are flying.
You're going pretty fast. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, because isn't there
Faster
also like
than me.
6 seasons? Or
Is
something?
that the one with
There's
Pedro? Or no, that's 2.
Nope.
Did I spoil that?
No,
You know what I'm talking about? Zach, you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're trying to say.
The real character's name.
Yes.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yes.
Which season is that?
Fantastic. Dude, I don't know. I watched it back in high school.
Oh,
Skylar Fritz. He's
Fly's gone.
Yeah. Homie passed away.
I just don't want to spoil that, but I swear that's early.
I think it's in like season 5. Something like that.
No way. I don't think that.
Is it? I don't know.
Just no way.
Fantastic.
I mean, I can tell you where I'm at.
Dude, it's not worth our time.
Well, no, please. I
It's
like.
so not worth it.
Oh, it's next season.
If there's a
this is-
series that's not worth discussing, it is this. Go ahead.
So halfway through season 3, and then still watching One Piece.
Okay.
I'm like, I think I'm like 50 episodes away from the whole reason I started One Piece. So I see the light.
What episode number specifically? Because there's some really fire ones that I have in mind that I would be upset if you didn't text me.
It's crazy that you know these episodes like number.
Okay.
No, not like a weird crazy way. It's just marveling.
I'm at like the last one I watched is 10-12.
You got a real good one coming up.
Dude, how do you?
You got a real good one coming up, bro.
I have. I know there's one super good fight before
It's not.
year 5.
No, dude.
Um,
No, dude. No. You got some. The next 60 episodes are gonna be awesome.
I am pretty excited. It's been pretty good so far. I just haven't been able to like watch it.
Yeah.
Because
You're
I've been
a
playing-
handful of episodes away from like what people consider the best episode of the show. Like I don't consider that. I don't want you to put that idea in your head. I do not think it's the best episode of the show, but a lot of the internet considers it the best episode of the show.
I will keep that in mind. I'm still reading Black Clover and going through. I'm at the part where I think the last thing I remember is Asta getting captured by the
Which?
I forget their people, but the one royal head Vermilion died.
Oh, you're there. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Did you meet his sister? I don't remember where she comes in.
I don't know.
Literally the best character in the show other than Yami.
Maybe I thought is it like a younger sister?
No, she's older sister.
Okay, then I don't think so. Because I kept
You
I
did
remember
meet a sister.
her name is my older brother. So I think it was his younger brother.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like I just met them, so it's
Fair.
pretty
No,
hard.
I'll step up. I'll step up.
Yeah.
I just like that one character. The oldest Vermilion sister is my second favorite character in the show. First is Yami. Third is Asta.
And then I've been playing a ton of Rivals. Finally hit Gold 3, so I don't have to stress that.
What's your other
late
thing?
season.
Keep going. Your accomplishments. You're a pro. Keep going.
Oh,
more.
yeah,
You did way more.
I did Lord Strange.
There we go. There we go. Big boy on campus.
I'm like partway through Captain with Penny. Hers is going to be so much faster than Strange. I didn't realize how much more you had to do with Strange to get into Lord until they started looking. I don't know if you know this or not. If you go through all the characters, all of their things to max them out are different.
Yeah, I
All the
didn't know
numbers-
that. Yeah, they have different like
Yeah, like Strange, for example, you needed 110,000 to get 50. Penny needs like 60. No, like, yeah, like I get that in 2 games, but Strange, it would take me like 4, like 3 or 4. So it theoretically is going to be faster, and she needs like different other things are going to be a lot easier. So that part is nice, and it's been going a little bit faster. So she's probably going to be my next one. And then, obviously, FIFA just came out with Team of the Year, so I've been playing a lot of that recently. Barking Zero has Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, Gamma's in the game. So,
They're here now.
yes.
Oh,
Go to the store and download them.
damn! I didn't know they released so soon. I saw the trailer come out.
Oh, it's like early access since you got the big one.
Oh, I think we need to do something with that tomorrow.
So obviously I plan on getting to that soon.
Yeah.
And then I've been streaming a lot of Rivals with Andre getting to gold. And
It's under the Twitch channel Strangers.
yeah, if you want to. I'm not going to shamelessly plug on a different channel.
Of course you can.
But
as long as he doesn't stream on the day that we're streaming, then it's fine.
no, he actually changes his stream.
I figured so.
Yeah.
Because he's a homie. He's been on the channel
And
the
then
whole time.
obviously another game I played, Dokkan, is coming up on its anniversary in 2 Tuesdays from now? So like
Yeah.
8 days.
Yeah, well,
8 days.
when this video comes out, it'll be 6 days.
Yeah. So like less than a week from whenever this video drops.
Yeah, sick.
But obviously very, very busy time of the year. School's also starting.
Dude, you've no fucking clue. Dude, I can't.
Go.
Sparking Zero, Dokkan Battle, Call of Duty's dropping another map. I'm working on a filler video right there. I didn't need to do that apparently because I have a lot of stuff on my plate right now.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. You got quite a bit on quite a bit of dip on your chip now.
I do have a lot of dip, and I need to finish it. I need to work on the other one before February.
Yeah. It was pretty hectic. So I've been moving around, but that would be the reason why I have not been able to watch a ton of other stuff recently. I forgot. Caught up on Solo Leveling. I'm 1 episode behind Daima now.
Dude, don't even. It's not worth it. No, actually, that's not true.
It is worth it.
This last episode wasn't that bad, but the one before it was terrible. The one where they were fighting the giant dog, terrible. One of the worst anime episodes I've watched in a long time.
I think I'm actually halfway through that one because I was like, I'm gonna watch Solo Leveling.
Yeah, it sucked. It was. I love Dragon Ball, and I'm trying to put nostalgia glasses on purpose so I could enjoy it more. But like, I just couldn't with that one, and I didn't feel that way towards any of the other episodes of the show. I do think it's a good show, but that one sucked.
Yeah, that was the only one that I have not been able to get through in one sitting.
Fair.
So far.
I went on Instagram or something. It was embarrassing. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Sorry for jumping in like that.
You're good. But that's pretty much where I've been at and probably where I will be at in the next coming weeks.
Right. Because school's starting and you have a lot of shit going on. Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like crazy. Like, no way they actually want me to do all this stuff.
Yeah. That's the main reason we're holding all the superhero stuff to the end is because we actually like it so much more than everything else. And we want to put more effort into it later whenever we're less busy. That's totally the reason. Yeah. We definitely just didn't want to break and aren't going to go see all the superhero stuff that's coming out over the next whatever and are waiting for the reviews.
Yeah, so wait, what are we going to do about those movies?
Not going to watch. I'm not going to watch them. I don't know about you guys.
I think I still will watch what's coming up just because, like, I don't think there's personally been any movies in the theaters that have gotten me to go.
Yeah.
I know Nosferatu was a good one. I just ended up going, that's one I would have gone to. I just don't think there's been bangers, and I think I can just go for a classic Marvel.
I just don't think that's it, you know? Like,
cool.
I think it's going to be a Marvel movie. It's not going to push the needle. It's not going to be like,
Right.
It's just going to be a movie that we've seen already, you know?
That might be okay with me, though, because, like,
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for Marvel.
there is nothing wrong with that. And I bet, like,
It will.
It is Rivals content.
no, it's not. They're not putting Falcon in the game yet. And Van Hulk's a different character.
Yeah, he gives her.
It will be Rivals content. You can jump
Eventually.
13.
In a couple of years. So it would have made more sense if they did that for like they saved the Fantastic Four for when the Fantastic Four come out and then do like Red Hulk and Falcon now.
Mhm.
You would think, but
You would think.
Yeah.
But then, like, what about, remember the,
You do get an exclusive from going to the
I did
Falcon movie.
I did see that. Yeah, you get like a skin and a like a
Banner.
calling card. Yeah, a banner. Yeah.
what's that PlayStation movie, Dawn? Until
Oh, yeah, that's in the podcast lineup. So
that's a weird one because the game came out. Why did they release those together?
because the movie
I
based on
thought
the
they
game.
were gonna make a movie.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to make a movie. I think they made a movie because the game was popular.
No, I mean, they remastered the game. It was a remake or something.
Oh, I didn't know
It came
that.
out a month or two. It came out a month or two. Why didn't they bring them? Why did they put them together?
I don't know. Actually, that would have been
There
a
is a remake that was out. It's very nice. It's a lot. They
Probably
things.
maybe they just didn't know the movie was coming out.
This is already a really long episode, but I kind of want to talk about that real quick before we end it real. The
Don't we
Don.
also talk about the movie of choice for next week?
Oh yes,
No,
Chandler picks it. If Chandler picks next week, what'd you decide on?
I have two things.
Okay.
I just don't know if you've done one,
You have one.
and if you have, I want to do the other. But the only issue with the other movie is that there is a sequel currently in theaters. So,
Moana,
have you covered Django Unchained on here?
Django.
Yeah.
No, we have not.
Okay. So that was. I mean, I saw Revenant, and that's kind of like I know Leonardo's in that, in Django, and I had also know it's just a banger, and I have to compete with what you guys brought to the table.
Right, because we've had some
But-
fire ones so far.
We have,
Yeah.
or the other is Den of Thieves.
What
The
the?
sequel is in theaters right now. Den of Thieves. I liked it when I first saw it, which was years ago. I will not tell you anything else because the movie was so great because I knew nothing about it.
I'm not gonna read about this.
Yeah. You might not.
It's up to you. You choose.
It is up to you.
Right now, you have to pick between the two of them.
We're gonna go Den of Thieves.
Okay,
I want to rewatch that.
I wanted you to pick that one.
Yeah.
I don't even
Why not
remember
this
what the
one?
first option was. Not gonna lie.
Is Django?
Oh, Django.
You call it Django?
It is Django.
There's a D in front.
It doesn't matter, dude. It really does not matter.
Bullshit.
The Django.
Do you call it an opossum?
Yeah.
You probably do.
Don't you call it a knight?
Oh yeah, Knife.
Good night.
Yeah, Knife. So when I was making the schedule for the next year, I like went out of my way to put Until Dawn on it because I've heard both of you guys talk really highly about that game. And I know Chandler, when we mentioned the movie, he said he was excited for it. I watched the trailer and I think it looks terrible. And I
Nothing like the game.
really,
Yeah.
Someone.
I get I haven't played this game since
yeah,
my sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years, so I don't remember like every detail, but it looked like vaguely connected. Like it wasn't clicking.
both of you guys did watch the trailer though.
I watched
but I
Okay, that's what I
someone who kind of talked about it.
I just watched the trailer and it wasn't at all what I thought
So
it was going to be. And I, like the entire time I was like, this looks horrible. This looks like generic horror slop.
dude, it's just Sony doing Sony things. But
Yeah.
Uncharted wasn't really that great.
Yeah.
But it still made buku money, so they're gonna said people are gonna make this.
Okay.
And
Is it even worth it? Should I remove that from the schedule? Is like,
I don't know. I would say if you keep it on the schedule, I would try your best to play the game beforehand.
fuck, I don't know if I can do that, but I would try my best to do that. Especially the remaster.
You know, even if you don't like entirely finish the game, just at least get some
An idea of it.
like yeah, and like kind of see what the game is and what the game brings, and then compare it to what the movie is going to bring. You know, because that game is like
Good.
fairly decent, especially for its genre.
Yeah. I remember both of you guys like singing its praises, like saying,
For its genre, it definitely deserves it.
I know the remake's gonna be pretty expensive, or it's not gonna be cheaper because it just came out recently. But playing the first one is kind of hard. There are some things where it just limits your camera angle. It's very bad in situations like there's collectibles in the game and you can't find them to meet camera angles. It's kind of unplayable in those regards. So remake, they completely changed that.
That's good.
But maybe that
You were doing a really great job of convincing me to play the game there for a moment.
not the first, the first
Yeah.
convincing you to do the remake.
Right, yeah. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep if you guys have all your quarrels out.
Yeah, and quarrels are fun.
Quarrels are gone. This is a long fucking episode, hour and 35
There's
minutes.
people of just 3 episodes.
Yeah, literally. And well, granted, last week was kind of like initial impressions and predictions, and then this week was like an overall wrap up of every opinion of the show. So it makes sense that it was going to be longer. It was stupid of me to think that news and what we're watching wasn't going to be 30 minutes because it always is. Because, yeah, that's how I time it out to be. It's always going to be 30 minutes because that's 30 minutes for the review, 30 minutes for the whatever. If one goes over, it's going to go over. All right.
How long is it in total?
Well, this is 1 hour 35 right now. This is this is the third longest episode I think we've had so far.
Just home.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll see you guys next week with Den of Thieves, the first one. We're not going to do the second one. Well, actually, I mean, unless we love it. All right. See you guys. Bye.